giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushua, Bahasham Rachar Kodash, double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the tabernacles of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, wherever you may be, and wherever you may be, to you I say Shalom, Yasharallah, Shalom. Alright, this is going to be super brief. We're not going to get too deep into this. The video pretty much speaks for itself. But I want to, pull all this up here because, pretty much what we're living in the time of AI and robotics, the age of AI and robotics. So that's why we're here with another AI chat. And because we recently talked about Esau with his technology and having people speak with their dead loved ones through, whatever connection or whatever. And that's pretty much digital necromancy. Necromancer is someone who invokes the spirits of the dead. Okay. That's all steeped in witchcraft and sorcery and magic and things of that nature, right? Which is against what we're told, all right, to do and deal with as the Lord's people. And so Esau wants to pretty much download, consciousness, because see, the thing is, a man and woman can get together and make a body, all right? They can make a baby, but the baby is going to be a stillborn at birth. The baby is going to be a stillborn at birth if the Lord doesn't put a soul in it. And that's the key thing to what Esau can't control, all right? So even if he clone a baby or whatever, well, that baby, I don't know what happened there. My tablet just straight shut off and reset and cut right back on by itself. But I was saying something about Esau, he can make a real baby, man and woman get together. He can make a real baby. He can clone a baby, but he doesn't have control over the soul. All right. The Lord has control over the soul. So no matter what he does, all right, he's never going to be God. That's what he has, a God complex. He wants to be God. He wants to control life itself. All right. Starting with you Israelites, okay, and then his own people and all the other nations as well. Like it says in Habakkuk chapter 2. All right, he put unto himself all people, which is ultimately going to be through his microchip device, his system there, that gives them total control over everybody. All right, and these things are just, add things like this just add more weirdness to Esau. Okay, man, it kind of threw me off what I was talking about, the whole reset there. But another thing I wanted to mention is because it talks about her eyes. All right, her eyes are cameras. All right, I think it played it in the clip for us. I'll probably put this at the end as I finish speaking here and read a couple of scriptures there. But the eyes are cameras, and the cameras, they scan, your I forget how they call it, micro expressions. I think the word is micro expressions. Okay. As a matter of fact, if I can, let me see here. I'm gonna pull up this. It talks about the cameras scanning the micro expressions so they can analyze and figure out how to respond. So this is how realistic that they're making these, androids or whatever. That particular one, the main one I'm talking about is called Moya. Okay, as you just saw there. But there's other ones that we just showed. All right, here we go. Let me type in this word. What did I just say? Micro. What was the word there? Micro. Man, what's the word I just mentioned? Micro expressions. I believe the word is micro expressions. I just saw the word micro expressions. Yeah, here we go. Yep, see, this is it. Micro expressions are involuntary, fleeting facial expressions lasting only 1/25th to 1/5 of a second that reveal true emotions a person is attempting to suppress or conceal. So this is what those cameras in those eyes are doing, scanning your face for these micro expressions, so they can see what you really feel. It gives a feel that this android is alive, and they can really sort of read your thoughts or your feelings or your emotions or whatever the case may be, and give you a proper feedback, and it's making it more human like. These are the things that Esau is toying with. Okay, or we can't say Esau in particular. Esau is one of them, but you have other companies that are doing this, from all the way to China. China's one of different companies, all right, different tech companies. So we can't just lay it all on Esau, but we know the bulk of technology is behind Esau, all right, his sword, because his technology is a part of his sword, not just his weapons. His weapon is, his weapons are his greatest sword, though, and his words, even, his decrees that he can sign and things of that nature. So there's different levels to his sword. So it says, based on research by Dr. Paul Ekman, these rapid muscle movements often contradict verbal communication, acting as crucial indicators of concealed feelings like fear, anger, or contempt. Okay, and it's giving you right here, micro expression. A micro expression is a facial expression with very short duration. It is the innate result of a voluntary and an involuntary emotional response occurring simultaneously and conflicting with one another. All right. So they give you examples. Okay. And her eyes are scanning your micro expressions as you talk with her. So she can try to see what you're feeling, versus your words, and give a proper feedback and response as if it's a real human responding to you. Okay, so we don't have to go too far into that. Yeah, so we don't have to go into all of that. You can read that yourself if you want. I'm going to jump over here so we can go and close this off. Like I said, it's going to be super short. So I'm going to go to Ecclesiastes chapter 17. Okay. Let's just start at verse 4. And put the fear of man upon all flesh, and gave him dominion over beasts and fowls. They received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord. Okay. And this is what Esau wants access to. We all have, obviously, operate, which he told you we have 5 senses, right? But anyways, he wants to have access to, what did he say? The human body is hackable. Okay. The human body is now hackable. And the ultimate hack is going to be when he implants microchips inside people. Okay. So he wants to be able to control people. There's even, because we've done articles on it. That's why we do these AI chats to talk about these things, where people can play back their dreams. So he records your dreams. There was an article where they talked about them creating technology where people can meet each other in their dreams. And if that ain't sorcery, I don't know what is. Meet each other in their dreams. Okay. And many other things of that nature. And I had to go through a whole list. So, but Esau he has the God complex. All right. He wants to be the Most High, like it says Isaiah 14 and 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. He wants to be the highest. He wants to be Yahweh. Okay. And his inward thought is that his houses shall continue forever. But let's go and get this. It says they received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord. And in the 6th place, he imparted them understanding. Okay. Which really ties into wisdom. Which really wisdom is only given to the Israelites, because we're the Lord's people. All right. And Esau nor the heathen nations truly have wisdom, and definitely not an android robot. And in the 7th, speech. Okay. Which animals have speech too. Right. Bad, bark, wolf, whatever, horses. Those are animal speech. Okay. So they don't have speech as in the way that we have speech, which, let me read on so I can make the point. It says, and in the 7th, speech, an interpreter of the cogitations thereof. So an interpreter of the cogitations, your cogitations mean your thoughts. So like I'm speaking right now, you can hear me and understand it, regardless of what language I'm speaking in. I'm speaking, you can hear me, you can understand me, and I'm telling you my thoughts based on the subject. See, so our words, our speech, in other words, are able to interpret the thoughts that are in our head, which animals don't have it on that level. All right. Animals may, you may have a dog that may be trained or be smart, so they'll sniff around the door or scratch on the door or something when they got to go outside to pee or poop or something like that. Or, they kicking around the dog bowl with their snout or whatever when they're hungry, or, or it's just standing next to the bowl, constantly just staring at you like, you gonna feed me? Okay, so animals have their way, because animals are smart too. So they have their way of communicating. Apes can do sign language. Parrots can mock language. Okay, certain species or whatever. So animals have their intelligence, but not to the level of man. All right, remember in the beginning it says, let us make man in our image. Not every creature, but let us make man in our image. All right, the Elohim. Okay. So yeah, and these androids are not real human beings, but they're trying to make them as realistic as possible. And also they're trying to merge man with machine. That's what Carl Schwab talked about, a fusion of man and machine, which the ultimate fusion he was talking about was the microchip. But on a lesser level, look at these brain chip implants. Elon Musk, Neuralink, BlackRock, and all those many other listed companies. But those are some of the major ones you hear, especially Neuralink and what I just mentioned, not BlackRock, but Elon Musk is the Neuralink and Synchron. Okay, Synchron. Okay. So yeah, it says in the 6th place he imparted them understanding, and then the 7th speech, an interpreter of the cogitations thereof, counsel, and a tongue, and eyes, ears, and a heart. Okay, it says gave he them to understand. All right, withal he filled them with knowledge of understanding and shewed them good and evil. Okay, not these android robots that Esau is creating, that he wants to be in this dystopian future, which robots are created on different levels, and they're taking jobs and doing chores and tasks and all these different kinds of things of that nature. All right, and to some degree, you know, they're working shoulder to shoulder with humans, and then on other levels they're completely taking the human's job. Okay. And that's pretty much all we need right there. He set his eye upon their hearts, that he might shew them the greatness of his works. He gave them to glory to his in his marvelous acts forever, that they might declare his works with understanding. Okay, and these androids don't have it. You got all these kind of Terminator, RoboCop, iRobot, any other movie you could think about, which I actually mentioned a few, a couple weeks or so ago at camp. All right, some movies that have to do with android robots, okay, stuff like that, humanoids, like these that were mentioned in the video, as well as that main one, Moya. Okay, so hey, 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11, lest Satan should get advantage of us, we're not ignorant of his devices. Okay, so we're not to be caught up in Esau's stuff, his technology, because it ain't as cool as he wants it seems to be. All right, we know he's the devil with an agenda, but I'm gonna leave it at that.
Realistic female humanoid robots that have been built and released to the public so far. Number 1, Geminoid F is friendlier and easier to interact with than his previous robots. Number 2, Nadine. She is described as a genoid humanoid social robot. Number 3, Asuna. She looked like a cute teen girl standing with a lab. Number 4, Erica. Erica Rika's face looks like real skin, and she has a wide range of facial expressions when talking, but her hand movements are still slightly robotic. Number 5, Sophia. To those who are AI nerds, Sophia needs no introduction. In 2016, the world was first introduced to Sophia, a social interaction A-bot built by Hanson Robotics.
A humanoid robot is currently causing a stir in China. Its name, Moya.
A robot with warm skin? Girl, bye! Welcome to Weird But True, your mainframe for the strangest stories from the Post. Meet Moya, a new lifelike robot from the Chinese company DroidUp.
Hi, Moya.
She's 5'4" and a very petite 70 pounds. But the detail everybody's talking about? Her hot body, quite literally. Moya's skin is warm to the touch with an internal temperature between 90 and 97 degrees Fahrenheit. That's just slightly colder than your average human. So that's either a Moya zing or creepy as hell. The outlet Shanghai Eye was there at Moya's debut on January 30th. The video went viral, and surprise, surprise, creeps flooded the YouTube comments. Prepare to be icked. Quote, "We're almost there, boys," one man said. "I think the only question is it self-cleaning?" said another. And the lazy eye is just the cherry on top for me. Lazy eye? Honestly, these weirdos need to go outside and touch grass. Fortunately, one living, breathing, actual woman said the quiet part out loud. Los Angeles-based author Kristen Van Nest shared her hilarious hot take.
What kind of service worker roles need warm skin? They're just so freaked out about Epstein Island. They're just gonna roll up and fill an island with these. Which, honestly, is progress.
Turns out Moya is not for personal use. For now, DroidUp sees her role as providing info in train stations, banks, museums, and shopping malls, although daily companionship could be in her future. So, why the toasty skin? Well, robotics professor Lee Quindu said, quote, "A robot that truly serves human life should be warm and have a temperature. Almost like a living being that people can connect with. But with a price tag of $176,000, you might be better off with an electric blanket and a good rom-com." These days, humanoid robots seem to be taking over. At CMG's 2026 Spring Festival Gala, they did Kung Fu, and at a tech event in Vegas, a robot named Cloyd folded laundry. Very slowly. The appliance company LG is promising consumers a zero-labor home sometime down the line. Perfect. Leaves more time for me to scroll on my phone and cry. But for now, you and your roommates are stuck doing the chore wheel. I'm on toilet duty this week. Yay. For more Weird But True, be sure to subscribe to the New York Post.
Lee Kuan-yew argued that a robot that truly serves human life should be warm, most likely a living being that people can connect with, not a cold metal machine. O, ayan, sabi niya, umiinit daw. Warm daw, warm. Ito, so if interested kayo, ito yung mga features ni Moya. So si Moya ay may 5 feet and 5 inches tall na height. So mga 165 centimeters. And yung weight niya is around 70 pounds, which is 31 kilos. So users can switch out the bot's part to give it a male or female build. So pwede siyang lalaki, pwede siyang babae. Pwede din palitan yung buhok and customize. So, depende sa kanilang whims. So, meron din tong camera behind her eyes para tulungan si Moya to track its surroundings and communicate with.
This is Moya, and she is not cold metal. She is warm. Released this month by Shanghai-based DroidUp, Moya is the world's first biomimetic robot designed to trick your senses. Her skin is heated to exactly 98 degrees Fahrenheit. If you shake her hand, she feels like a living human. If you hug her, she feels like a nurse. But look closer at the eyes. Those aren't glass. They are high-definition cameras that track your micro-expressions to simulate empathy. She is designed for elder care, to sit with lonely patients and hold their hands when family can't be there. The price tag? $173,000. That is steep, but it's cheaper than 3 years in an American nursing home. The question isn't, is the technology ready? The question is, are you ready to be comforted by a machine that simulates love but feels nothing?